Hi, I'm Janelle Shires, Youth and Family Program Director here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Seattle. Thanks for joining us on these videos. They're a way for you to be able to watch spiritual teachings and share them with your family when it works for you. Make sure that you subscribe below so that you're notified when more content is posted. And if you are in the area, come on down on Sunday morning at 11. We do in-person youth program for kindergarten up. We are talking about Muslim Foundation using the Golden Thread of Truth curriculum, and today's lesson is about prayer. Now, the Muslim people believe that you should live a righteous life and include a lot of prayer. Muslims pray 5 times a day, and that takes some effort. So the purpose of the prayer is to show our gratitude for God, our parents, our blessings, and to help us feel better. So it does take effort, but it is worth it. Now, sometimes we may do something and put a lot of effort into it, but it might be misplaced effort. So knowing where to place your effort may make all the difference. So prayer is an important part of remembering our commitment to God, to Allah. I have a little story for you about effort, and it's about a giant ship engine that failed. And it's a story of some businessmen who had a cargo ship, but the engine just would not work. So they called in experts. One would come, look at it, couldn't fix it. Next one, same thing, couldn't fix it. So finally, someone said, well, I know this old guy down the way. Why don't we have him come look at it and see what he thinks? So this little old man comes with his little bag of tools, looks around for a while, studies things, takes out his little tiny hammer and just gives it a tap, and poof, engine roars right up. They were so happy and impressed, they said, send us your bill. So a couple days later, they get a bill for $10,000. Well, they're thinking, all that guy did was do one little hammer tap. So they asked, please send us an itemized bill. So that itemized bill comes, and it says, tap with a hammer, $2. Knowing where to tap, $9,998. So that's really important to remember, is that placing that effort easily can make a whole world of difference. So I've got some questions for you. Now, there's a saying in Science of Mind that we use here at the center, is to treat and move your feet. Now, what does that mean? What it means is that, sure, I can pray to God, say my prayers every night, but if I'm not putting effort into the outcome of that prayer, I'm not probably going to see any results of that prayer, am I? So that's a good one for your children also. It's a really easy phrase, treat and move your feet. And why is it important to put effort into prayer? Well, because our relationships with ourselves, with God, that's the most important relationship in our lives. So that prayer is the way we're able to connect with God in spirit and communicate that. So last question is, can you become an expert in prayer? That's kind of a tricky question, isn't it? Well, prayer is an ever-evolving process. So you may feel like you're not getting anywhere, but as long as you're continuing to put in that effort, you're succeeding. So an idea for a craft for your family to go with the Muslim tradition is prayer, is to make a prayer mat. You may know people who are Muslim. I had a girl in my Girl Scout troop who was Muslim, so we would stop on our camping trips to allow her time to pray, and she would bring a prayer mat. So we're going to make one here today together. All you need is a piece of construction paper, and I chose 2 separate colors, and I cut them up into strips, and you're just going to braid them. So I glued down the tops, and then I glued the side, and just did an over, under, then under, over. Just had my little glue stick. So why don't you go ahead and give that a try. If you don't have construction paper around, just grab a white piece of paper and draw it with some different colored markers. So that's our lesson today on prayer. And with your children, especially the older ones, try to have them maybe set a timer on their phone 5 times throughout the day. And however you pray, that's great. But even just having them think of a few blessings 5 times a day, because that blessing is also a form of prayer. So let me know what you think. Pop a comment below. Contact me. My information is listed. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.